Favorite Patti Smith album is Easter. Yeah. So this is a big day for me. Um, I just saw somebody posted a decapitated Jesus, and I hope I didn't offend her, but I wrote decapitated dead man blues. Um, I'm here briefly to talk about Colin O'Sullivan, the writer I just did a YouTube on, because two of his friends have contacted me since then, and I'm thinking, wow, that is really nice. That is really nice. Um, and the funny thing is, I am now calling this a booktube. It's not a normal booktube in that I'm not going to. I'm a writer, and I am not really a publisher, but I am publishing, and so haven't kicked the smoking yet, but got a birthday coming up, and the world is getting a present. Uh, America and the cult of the cactus boots, a diagnostic, is due for publication on May 17th. Yeah. So in Slovenia, when it's your birthday, you invite all these people and you have to pay. So I make myself scarce on my birthday. I'll be reading America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots and mailing it off and stuff like that. But what I wanted to say is I started this channel to make fun of writers doing this master class, and it just made me want to puke, and that's just a saying. It made me want to puke. Maybe it's even a cliche, but I did puke when I heard Salman Rushdie talking about stories. We all do stories. The human being is the only animal that tells stories. How the fuck would you know, Salman? You don't think that they tell each other stories? You don't think a wolf raising cubs is telling stories? I don't think you know what the fuck a story is, asshole. Pardon me for that. But I was also thinking, because I started thinking about that, about workshops, also, because I went to the Grand Iowa Writers Workshop, which was, I want to say 90-some% bullshit, but, I met so many great people there. But when it was bullshit, wow, was it bullshit. And then I started thinking about Colin O'Sullivan's novel, going through a writer's workshop, and, all the shit that would be written about it. David Vardaman I met at the writer's workshop, and I don't know how bad he had it. I was in his class once, and I don't think he got it good. But I remember back then he was working on a novel that I guess he never finished, and I loved it because I could feel the strength of a writer in there, and that was in 1993 and 4, and that I overlapped a year with David, and he's been writing ever since, and now he's published, and people are seeing that this is a great writer. And I imagine that Colin O'Sullivan would love to get into the writer's workshop, because if they paid him, I got a job teaching, and I had to spend very little time teaching. So basically, I got paid to write for 2 years, and I had very thick skin. I knew what I wanted to do, and I had the time to do it. I was the happiest man alive. I remember that I wrote different from anybody else there, and so what I got a lot of people just throwing cheap shots, and they were all really, really stupid. But I also had admirers who called what I wrote courageous, and that one was even worse. I would say, courageous. All I have to do to present this to you is go to a typewriter. I mean, I write it in hand. Or back then, I only wrote by hand, usually the first 2 drafts, or maybe not, but I had a plain typewriter. I was the only one in the fiction department who didn't have a computer. I was amazed at that. I thought, man, I am moving up in time. And I got a computer when I moved to Slovenia, and I got a job teaching. You had to have a computer, so that's when I got a computer, and I started writing on the computer in 2008 or 9 when I was writing this book called Cramburger with Monkey, which is a comedy of assassination. I haven't published that yet. I will. I will. But I was. It's got a lot of short chapters, and what would happen is I'd come out here and sit on the balcony and think about the book and where I was at, and I'd just start laughing. And back then the computer was just right over there, and I would go over there and just write it really quick because it was on the computer and it was quicker, and that's when I broke through to become a computer typer writer. I left my typewriter, which was a beautiful big green Hermes, in the United States when I moved here. Not sure why, but that's what I did. And anyway, so I just wanted to say that this is um, a a booktube that's going to be a little different. I'm going to be doing reviews, which I'm not very good at. And, it took me 30 minutes to do what a guy like Chris Veal of Leaf by Leaf could do in 10 with more depth and acuity with Colin O'Sullivan's. But I was so happy to that I came across that book, that I didn't give a shit. And, if people were bored and turned it off, I hope they at least got the name Colin O'Sullivan. And I don't even care if they got the book title because, when someone can write like that, they can write like that. And so every book's going to be really good. And I can't wait to read the next one. Well, there's another cliche. Sorry. But I can wait. And I will wait because I don't have enough money to buy any more books right now. All the press money goes back into the press to save up for America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, which is going to be the best book that I ever publish in my life. I'm sure of it. Much as I love my own books. And I've said this before, but why not say it again? America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, a diagnostic by Philip Friedenberg, illustrated by Jeff Walton. Watch for it. And if you can find Betimes Books, which is spelled Betimes, it's Betimes, I think. Betimes, one word, Books in Dublin. And you'll have some Colin O'Sullivan to buy. And you should do it if you're buying books. Buy somebody that that you never heard of before. If you heard of him, you're one of the lucky ones.